How's it going, everybody? It is iStraight64 here, and welcome to another video. Now, as a little, celebration that we started playing the Witcher trilogy on the channel, I have decided to make a little special video about the Witchers. Now, not just Geralt of Rivia, our main hero, but some Witchers in general, like what are their abilities, how do they become Witchers, and why do they even exist. We will cover that and much more in this video, so if you're new here, consider leaving a like, subscribe, share with your friends, family, leave a comment. I reply to every single comment. And now, without any further ado, let's get into the video. Now, everything started with the conjunction of the spheres. Now, the conjunction of the spheres is the phenomenon that originally set all of this in place. Approximately 1,500 years prior to the events of the novels, a strange cataclysm filled the earth with creatures from other realms, which is where many of Witcher's monsters originally came from. And not just monsters, but also other races such as elves, dwarves, and even vampires, etc., etc. Now, how come Witchers are what they are today? Well, everything starts with the trial of grasses. The trials of the grasses are the first step in converting the ordinary child into a Witcher. However, it's important to note that they will rarely work unless there's something already extraordinary about the child in question. Essentially, these trials are based on consuming alchemical ingredients that can be deadly to anyone who isn't strong enough to digest them. If the trials go well, the child subjected to them will become faster, stronger, and gain enhanced senses rivaling those of a hog's sight or a bat's hearing. Now, if they go poorly, however, the child will likely die. And most of the time, approximately 7 times out of 10, that's exactly what happens. It's worth noting that part of what makes Geralt of Rivia, our main character, so significant is that he demonstrated an almost unbelievable tolerance for the grasses. In fact, his white hair is a direct result of being subjected to extra experiments, which gives him his extraordinary strength even for a Witcher. And many children in the Witcher series and how they are trained basically go through unique diets as well. They can consume very special foods that even then, many children can't take, and they probably will die because of their very unique diet or their harsh training. We actually get to see that, in books and even in Witcher 3 in one specific quest where you see the deceased souls of the kids that died in the camps that tried to become Witchers but unfortunately failed. Now, speaking of that, one unique quest is at Kaer Morhen, well, near Kaer Morhen, which is a Witcher school of the Wolf, and our main character, Geralt of Rivia, is from the School of the Wolf. But there are other Witcher schools and they all have their important roles. Now, about Witcher schools. Although most Witchers are subjected to the same trials and are therefore relatively similar to one another, there are a variety of different Witcher schools dotted across the continent. This all began with the Order of Witchers, a secret organization of magical knights created by mages to aid the monarchy. However, the mages were dissatisfied with their result and started to call the mutant knights Witchers. Shortly thereafter, many of these Witchers broke away from the institution in order to form their own schools, the School of the Wolf, the School of the Cat, the School of the Bear, and more. Basically, the School of the Viper and School... Actually, no, that's it. So, yeah, you maybe know somebody from the School of the Cat, and Bear, and, there's many. So, School of the Wolf isn't the only one, although in games we mostly see the School of the Wolf characters, as our main character is Geralt, Vesemir, Eskel, and Lambert. We mostly see them in the games, and throughout the books, though, we do see and hear from more Witchers, but a lot more people are A lot more people are more familiar with the games and not the books. So, in a little explanation, there are witchers from all sorts of schools and not just the school of the wolf and the cat. Actually, even the witcher, Leto of Gullet from The Witcher 2, is not from School of the Wolf. He's actually from the School of the Viper, which is in Nilfgaard. So, the more you know. School of the Bear is in Skellige, for an example. So, yeah, all these schools are, as I said, spread through different continents, and unfortunately, almost all of them are out of function now. Even Kaer Morhen in Witcher 3, a little fun fact, if you go through a quest with Eskel, and if you pick out one specific dialogue choice, he actually will go to recover and remake Kaer Morhen and open another School of the Wolf. But if you pick another dialogue choice, he will just give up and leave Kaer Morhen and, leave essentially all the schools to die. And even Leto of Gullet, the Witcher from Witcher 2, actually did what he did. I won't go through spoilers, but he did what he did for the Emperor promised that he would rebuild the School of the Viper. So again, I won't go into spoilers, but if you're interested, check out The Witcher 2 yourself, or, play it yourself. It is a pretty good game. Now, Witchers actually have other abilities. Although they have their superhuman strength, speed, and everything else, they also possess magical abilities. Although their magical abilities aren't as strong as some sorcerers or similar, their magical abilities are still very useful and powerful. As you know all, we use them throughout all the games, and let's cover our magical spells and abilities of a Witcher. Now, Witchers, again, don't have only magical abilities, but they also have physical enhancements. So, basically they have cat-like eyes. All Witchers have eyes similar to a cat, allowing them to maintain at least some visual acuity even in the darkest environments. This is represented by their yellowish-green eye color and pupils that can narrow and expand. The night vision effect can be further enhanced if a Witcher consumes a cat potion. Superhuman physical capabilities. Those who survive the modifying process obtain enhanced agility, strength, reflexes, durability, poison resistance, and healing. Witchers also gain an unrivaled immune system that can block most illnesses. And they have increased lifespans, because most Witchers can live for hundreds of years, and their bodies also age far, far slower. Despite being somewhere around his 80s or 90s, Geralt still has the appearance of a young buck. And even in Witcher 3, where he is almost 100 years old, honestly, he still looks like he's in his mid-30s, so good job, Geralt. Good job. Now, as I mentioned here, you might have noticed, Witchers can consume potions, and Witcher potions are actually deadly to other races, and especially humans. Now, there are some potions, we mentioned here, the one that gives, a Witcher even more improved night vision. Or, for an example, a potion called Swallow that can increase, one's metabolism so fast that they basically regenerate their injuries immediately. And so on and so forth. There are many Witcher potions. If you'd like to see me cover all of the potions, let me know. Maybe we will do it. So, next up are magical abilities. Again, as I said, Witchers do possess magical abilities, although they are very minor and are even stated in the books and even the games that they are the first and most basic kinds of magic. So, let's go through them. Now, in The Witcher, these are called signs that Witchers perform. The magic abilities, they're called signs, and here's what they do. Now, first off, we have one of my personal favorites, is Ard, a telekinetic wave that pushes things away from the user. Basically, like a little force shove that can just push away anything. And even in the games, you know, Geralt can even like make a little shock wave when he shoots it in the ground, knocking away everybody and stunning them. Even he mutated, in one DLC, he took additional mutagens and turned Ard, this telekinetic wave, into a frost wave. So not only can he push back enemies, but also freeze them. But that's only in The Witcher 3, so take that one with a grain of salt. Now, next one we have Irden, a magical trap placed on the ground that may briefly imprison foes. This is basically a little magical trap, as they said, and fun fact, they use this in the anime to expel ghosts and evil spirits, so it's kinda like even can be used in exorcisms. And even in the Witcher games, actually, many of ghosts and spirits are indeed weak to Irden. So, there's a little fun fact. Now, next up is Igni, a barrage of flames that can burn a foe or start any fire. Basically can be shot like a little, how do I call it, a little beam, a little flamethrower, or can be just shot a little like a wall of fire, or even, in Witcher 2, as a fireball. Which is very basic move, basically just setting things on fire and dealing damage. Now, next up is Quen, a small barrier to protect the user which remains active until broken or dispelled. Yes, essentially a barrier that protects the user from all damage. A little fun fact, in The Witcher 2, you can actually enhance the barrier with the sign Igni that we just mentioned, and you can make a little fiery shield. Or in The Witcher 3, if you go and enhance your sign, it doesn't have to be like a little barrier around you, but instead it will kind of be like a little small force field, which is like barely even visible, so it's not like a big sphere around you. So yeah, a little fun fact. Now, Heliotrap. Now, fun fact, Heliotrap we don't actually get to see in games, but it is basically a barrier made when a Witcher crosses their wrists, designed to block a single powerful blow. This is a books-only move. So far we haven't seen it in the games, but still, it's basically, I guess, like a one-time use Quen. Now, next up is Axii, a charm which makes the target very suggestible. Basically, a little brainwashing machine. A little brainwashing move. Basically, if somebody's mind is weak to fall under the charm, whatever you tell them, they will do it. Lambert used this to charm his opponents and, made one oof himself and everybody else, really, which is very brutal. But in most Witcher games, you can use it mostly to get some additional dialogue or, skip quests and that type of thing. Very useful sign in all of the Witcher games, especially Witcher 3. Although this sign doesn't work on everybody. For an example, some more powerful mages that have higher magical and spell resistances, or that are simply more powerful. So they are, I don't want to say immune, but they have a pretty good, resistance to the magic. And also things like automatons, for an example, a golem, or things that aren't necessarily alive, like something I would say machine-like, since like golems are in a sense like magical robots in The Witcher. So although gameplay-wise, yes, you can use the hex on them, but, if you tried, let's say speaking to one, like in Witcher 2, if you try to speak with a golem and try to charm him, it won't work, because it isn't a living being, and it, again, works kinda like on a program, essentially. So it doesn't matter if you hex it or not, it still just follows its own programming, while, on a living being, it can alter their brain and they will be more open to influence. And now the last one is called the Somne. Puts the target to sleep and opens them up for some suggestions. Basically, Axie, but yeah, you know, it's it's Axie. Like, what do I say? It is Axie. That that's it. Now, when it comes to Witcher's gears and equipment, many Witchers have their own unique armor sets for their schools, such as, School of the Wolf has the Witcher, the Wolf School armor, the School of the Cat has Cat School armor, and the Bear of the Bear School armor. For an example, even the different schools are different types of people, and they do all function a little differently. For an example, the Cat School, they're all vicious and deadly assassins that kind of ruin the image of the Witchers in people's eyes. They usually wear light armor so they can be more sneaky and quiet, and then they can be light so they can be quick on their feet and, do their assassinations or robberies or whatnot. And, when it comes to, Wolf, School of the Wolf, they're more like warriors and they're more focused on just hunting monsters. They wear medium armor that can protect them, yet they can still be agile. And then School of the Bear, which is in Skellige, and that place is just rough by itself, so they wear heavy armor so that they can be protected not only from the brutal monsters that exist there, but also from the environment and other animals. Now, Witchers have two primary weapons, a steel sword and a silver sword. Now, monsters in the Witcher series are all weak to silver, so then Witchers use their silver swords to essentially destroy monsters quicker, more quickly, and efficiently. As for they have a steel sword is for, regular animals, maybe, to hunt and stuff, and for people like humans, elves, dwarves, if they get into some conflict, let's say, because Witchers are kind of hated in the world. So, yeah, fair enough, They also carry a small knife with them so that they can take their bounty. Whenever they complete a contract, they usually take the head of the monster and show it to their, benefactor as proof. And also, there are other equipments such as small crossbows and small bombs. So, not, everybody uses those, but, School of the Viper are actually pretty good alchemists. They do delve in alchemy, so that, they mostly, use things like good potions and bombs. We already covered potions, essentially potions that give Witchers their additional strength and that give them, basic enhancements of their already existing abilities. And also there's different types of bombs in the Witcher universe, but they all essentially do the same thing as to, deal damage, such as a Dimeridium bomb, for an example, that can destroy anything that is magical. Or, they have a bomb with silver, pieces of silver that can do damage to monsters. And they have like little incendiary bombs essentially that can set fire to the ground, and they have regular bombs that can just do damage. And yeah, much more. But again, if you want me to cover Witcher equipment in bigger detail, let me know. So yeah, this was a little video that I had a suggestion to do, a little thing that I wanted to talk about. Basically, this is a little summary of the Witchers, who they are, what they do. Basically, at the end of the day, a small summary, they are beings that hunt monsters for money or other rewards. So yeah, basically we started streaming The Witcher on our channel. Again, if you're into that, check it out. Leave a like, subscribe, and hey, maybe you'll catch the Witcher stream. We are streaming the entire trilogy, and we will be playing Gwent as well, and other Witcher games as Thronebreaker. So it's gonna be a lovely journey. Currently, we're playing through Witcher 1, and if you have any more ideas about Witcher and what type of videos you would like to see, let me know. That's it for this video. I hope you had a good time.